Ta da 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 da. What? We're online already? Oh shit. Oh, excuse my French. Well, hello everybody. Well, exactly. Excuse my French. Sorry for starting this way, but I was just, surprised with logging in so quickly. Well, this is actually what this webinar will be about. We're going to talk about swearing and colloquial language. I hope you're all prepared for that. Okay, very nice. So let's see what's planned for you for the next 30-40 minutes or so. We're going to talk about swear words. That's what many of you have come here for, actually, I hope. And then we'll discuss 16 everyday funky colloquial expressions that everybody uses in Britain or in the United States, let's say, but not many Poles are actually, accustomed to using them. And we'll have lots of revisions and quizzes, so that's our little plan for today. Very good. So swear words, bad language, right? Big subject. Let's start with a few words related to swear words and vulgarity. The thing that comes to my mind is that when we swear, when we use vulgar language, we often break certain taboos, and these taboos may be related to different walks of life. I think there are at least 5 taboos in English, cultural taboos, linguistic taboos that we break when we use bad language. And one of them, the first taboo that we usually break in English when we want to swear, these are not very hard swear words. Mild, soft ones are the ones which are related to religion. Okay, religion is a safe swearing subject in English, but in some other languages it's very hard. It's very strong. For example, in Swedish. One of the strongest swear words in Swedish is jävla hytt. I hope that's the right pronunciation, which means devil's shit. Well, in English it's a bit different, and words which are related to religion, like God, hell, or the verb to damn, well, they are classified as swear words, but they're not very strong. But these are swear words. The verb which you can see there, to damn, is very popular. We will see it many times today. So the first taboo that we usually break when we swear is religion. Have a look at these expressions. I hope you can see them. Go to hell, damn you, God damn you. These are expressions that will probably visible on your screen right now. Mild swear words, which I hope you all know. Now, the second taboo that is kind of related to swearing in English is related to blood. I don't know why, but maybe because many people are afraid of blood. These swear words are not very strong. Actually, you probably know the word bloody. Bloody, like bloody hell. Are you serious? So you see, bloody and hell, something related to religion, expresses shock or surprise. And look at this guy, right? He's in shock. What might he be saying? Bloody hell, what have I done? So that's a very nice mixture of religion and blood as 2 taboo concepts. Right, the third concept that is usually, the third taboo that is usually broken when we use swear words are body parts. Right, we break this taboo, and we use words like as or as. Some of you may know the word as, which is used in British English and American English. Not many of you might be familiar with the first one, as. Actually, there's something very interesting about these two words that you might want to know. Two different histories. The word as, the first one, is used in British English mainly, and historically speaking, it used to mean the part of your body that you sit on, right? And the second word, as, well, the primary meaning, even historically, is an animal, a donkey. But these two words are used interchangeably in British English. Americans probably don't use that much of the first one. So I'm going to kick your ass. You are an ass, etc., etc. You know, we swear, and this is related to body parts. Now, you probably know what's the next taboo area that people break. It's sex, of course. There are lots of swear words related to sex, and we're not going to show you all of them today because, you know, of limited time, probably. But we just want to remind you of one that is very popular, the four-letter word. I think you can see it right now. It's being scrambled, okay? Because we weren't sure if you like bad language or not. So those of you who like using bad language from time to time, those of you can try to unscramble these. Actually, I just thought of two synonyms of the first one, and I'm going to show you these. Those of you who are not really in the mood swearing, you can just close your eyes for 5 seconds, okay? So now you can see the three words. The two last ones are the synonyms of the first one. Okay, 5 seconds gone. Right, the fifth taboo that we break when we swear is related to, I'm waiting for the slide to turn, to the things we do in the toilet, right? So defecation, urination, stuff like this. We have prepared three swear words which are related to these things. And again, we're going to show them for 5 seconds. The first one you may know. The second one is also very common, but the third one, which is a synonym of the second one, it's good to know this one too, because it's very often used in English in many contexts. So swear words, right? It's good to know them. Not because it's so useful to use them. We'll talk about them we'll talk about this issue in a second. But it's good to understand the meaning of swear words. So this situation happened to me many years ago when I was a student of English, and a friend of mine who was American, he asked me, "Are you taking the piss?" And I wasn't really sure what was going on, because we were in the toilet, we were just, chatting somewhere in the pub, and what he meant by taking the piss wasn't, me urinating, but that's an expression which means to tease someone, to mock someone, to joke. So, are you taking the piss? Is something like, are you joking? Right. So that's good to know. Right, number six. Number six on in this slide, well, it represents 6 reasons why I think you might be interested in knowing how to swear. 6 reasons for swearing, and we're going to reveal those. But again, we don't want to, bombard you with profanity and vulgar language, so we'll just limit our webinar to the swear words which are mild, which are soft in English. So those ones related to religion. Okay. So first of all, you might want to use bad language if you are annoyed, right? If you are angry, and in such situations you can say things like "damn," God damn it, or damn it, can't you hurry up? So being angry. That's one good reason to swear. Damn it. The second reason to swear is expressing surprise. Okay. For example, well, I'll be damned. What are you doing here? Or in the second example, what the hell? Who the hell are you? Right? Or what the hell are you doing here? So again, you know, religion, being damned, the hell, exactly. Sometimes we also might want to just, you know, insult somebody. And if we want to use, you know, a soft swear word, how about damn you? Okay. There are lots of other possible, you know, swear words here, but we're not going to discuss them. They're too strong for this time of the day, probably. Who knows? Maybe some kids are watching. So look at this cat. You know, its expression. You know, it's you know, like I don't care. I don't give a damn. You know, it's another reason for you know, swearing. You know, just expressing unconcern. So I don't give a damn. And finally, there is the sixth reason, and a very popular one. When we want to, it's when we want to boost the intensity of something we say. And in such cases we use you know, a swear word. For example, that pizza was damn good, or where's the bloody key? You know. So so 6 reasons. 6 good reasons, actually, to use swear words. It's up to you which taboo you want to break. You know, we've just broken the first one only, and maybe the second one too. So swearing. Should we do this a lot? You know, should we use English or you know, foreign language swear words? It's a big question, actually, because you know, we have to be careful. If English is not our native language, it's difficult to say whether, you know, a certain swear word is strong or soft. You know, so sometimes it's not very easy to say, you know, whether the strength of a swear word is big or small. So that's one question we have to ask ourselves before we start swearing in English. The second question is related to the fact that, you know, people who swear do this in the company of, you know, other people who are accustomed to swearing, you know. So, you know, if you belong to a certain social group, like politicians, right, you swear a lot when you're, you know, when people don't listen to you, just, you know, general public. So, so if you start swearing in the foreign language, and you don't know that language very well, you know, it may sound sometimes comical, you know, or sometimes, you know, this group of people listening to you, your listeners, will try to, you know, will think that maybe he's trying to become one of us, and he's not. So so think twice before you start swearing. But sometimes swearing is very useful. So you know, that's the big dilemma that I'm leaving you with at this moment. And we are moving on to a safer subject, but still related. Those 16 colloquialisms that I have promised to show you, to share with you, and these are words, phrases which I very often, you know, hear when I watch TV shows, films, but also when I speak to native speakers. And these are phrases that Polish speakers of English don't use very often. Okay, so let's take a look at some of them. The first subject, money. Okay, so I'm just wondering. This is going to be the first question to you this afternoon. I want you to use your chat. Do you know what's this thing which you can see in the picture? Do you know the English name for for this thing. It looks like it looks like pizza, right? But at a very early stage, and I've got someone who, yes, someone says dough. Very good. Not baked bread. Małgorzata, Wojciech, Marta. Very good. This is dough. But dough has another meaning. Right? The first meaning of dough, the most common, is what you can see on the screen. The second meaning is just money. So have a look at this example. Hi, mate. Could you lend me some dough? Okay. Very often, very useful. Good to remember. Dough has two meanings. Right. One day I was looking for a nice informal word for these little thingies, just coins, loose coins. And a native speaker I know shared it with me, and he said, well, we call them coppers. And I said, coppers like policemen? Well, yes, but it's the second meaning of coppers, because copper is miedź, right? So coppers is a word which you can describe with which you can describe just, loose coins. I have only coppers in my wallet. Very useful too. Okay, how about credit cards, debit cards, stuff like this? Do you know the word which you can use in English, which is kind of colloquial and, everyday, but not many people use it? Very good. It was Krzysztof. It's plastic. Right. Can I pay with a plastic? And Marta too. But Krzysztof was faster. Thank you. Thank you, both of you. So can I pay with a plastic? Credit card, 2 words, debit card, 2 words. English is economical. So why don't we use just the word plastic, in an everyday conversation? Very good. Plastic. Okay. Well, that's a very nice picture, isn't it? Lots of $100 bills, lots of dough in this wallet. So this guy is probably very rich. We know the word rich, we know the word wealthy, but do we know the word loaded, right? To be loaded, which means to have, there's lots of money. He can surely borrow some, you can surely borrow some money from him. He's really loaded. Okay, so loaded meaning rich, meaning wealthy. And the opposite of that is a word which you may know, like I'm broke, I don't have any money. But there's another one, and it's skint, to be skint. Just like in the example which you can see right now, lend me a cigarette, I'm skint, right? I have no money. So to be loaded, to be skint. 2 nice words which we strongly encourage you to start using. Okay, time for a short quiz. So it's you and the chat box. What's the first thing? Agnieszka gave the right answer. And Krzysztof and Tomasz and Joanna and Piotr, of course, this is dough. Very good. And Marcin and Małgorzata, well done. Now, what about the second picture? What can you see in the second picture? What is it? It's plastic. Very good. Well, that wasn't very difficult. Lots of good answers. Well done. I wonder if you remember what this is. Very good. Krzysztof, Małgorzata, Adam. Many people remember what this was. I'm sorry for that little noise. These are coppers. Okay. So, dough, plastic, coppers. Very nice. Let's move on. Well, this little kitty looks a bit tired. And I wonder, what are your favorite words to describe this feeling in English? You can say, I feel tired. Are there any other ways of describing this feeling, and Joanna writes exhausted, Marta too, and Adam, of course, exhausted. Everybody knows exhausted, right? Everybody knows the word tired, but not many people use the word knackered, right? And it's very popular among native speakers, especially British people. To be knackered is to be completely exhausted, and you can use it in such a sentence. I can't go out tonight. I'm knackered. Okay, so a nice one to start using in the future. I hope you like this one. All right. So we're tired, we're knackered, and we want to have an exactly, you know, a short period of sleep. What do you call it in English? A nap. Very good. Małgorzata and Renata and many other people. Everybody knows the word nap, right? But do you know the word kip, right? A kip or to kip means more or less the same, but it's just a word that not many Polish, you know, speakers of English use. I'm totally knackered and I need to kip. Very nice, isn't it? Nice because it's short. All right. We'll change the subject slightly. We're not tired. We're in the mood for some, you know, social activities. And someone tells us something like this. Fancy going to the pub? Fancy? Well, it looks a bit strange, doesn't it? Does anybody know what the word might mean, or the whole phrase? Fancy going to the pub? Yes, very good. It's like an invitation, right? It's like, how about going to the pub? Very good, Marta, and very good, Maria. Yes. Are you feeling like going to the pub? But that's very long. So British people very often say just fancy. Fancy going somewhere. Fancy a cup of coffee, something like that. So start using fancy. Another nice British phrase that is worth you know, using is the word blimey. Blimey is a word which expresses shock or surprise, and it's got a very nice and interesting history. Because many years ago, you know, people would say, "God blind me." So, do you remember the first taboo religion? Yes, God blind me, and the whole phrase became "blimey." So, how do you use it? Maybe in such a context, you know, two people talking, and one of them says, "Blimey, I didn't know about it." It's like, you know, you're shocked, surprised. Right, so that was blimey, and now it's time for one of my favorite. I hear this phrase a lot, especially in TV shows, which are very popular nowadays. My bad. Does anybody know what my bad might mean? You know, someone says, you know, my bad. What could this mean? Very good, Małgorzata. Very good, Michał. And very good, Piotr and Andrzej and Marta and Marcin. It means my fault, or something like I'm sorry, my mistake. Very good. But how to use it in a sentence? Well, like I said, it's nice to, you know, detect such niceties of language in TV shows, for example. But we've got an example for you as well. Person A says something like this: you told me something different yesterday, and the guy says, my bad, you know, just my mistake. Does it mean that we shouldn't be, you know, using words like my fault, I'm sorry? Well, not necessarily. We can still, you know, use these words, but you know, it's if we start using the you know, the less frequent ones, we probably might be recognized as, you know, more advanced, you know, learners of English, you know, and these are not very limited, you know, to some social groups. Everybody uses them. Native speakers use them generally, but, you know, just it's just something that we should, you know, adopt in our language. to become more fluent, I guess. And that's another good example, because you probably know what this means, right? No probs. The typical phrase would be no problems, right? Or no problem. But it's good to know how to use it in a sentence like this one. Person A says, "I'm so grateful for all your help," and the other one says, "No probs, mate." It's like, no problem, mate. So no props. Another good expression to remember. Okay. And one more question to you guys. The word cheers, right? You might associate this word with drinking alcohol and making a toast. Do you know two more meanings of the word cheers? As an exclamation. Very good, Marta. It's a very good explanation, and very good to you, Anna, as well. Cheers could mean two things. Could mean bye and thank you, right? So someone gives you something and you say cheers, and it means thank you. And someone is leaving and you say cheers, it means goodbye. So cheers. Very nice one to remember as well. And anybody knows a word that has been recently very popular in English, which means something like narka, trzymka, dozoba. Anybody? And I'm not thinking of see you or see ya. These could be nice translations too, but everybody knows them. I'm waiting for something beginning with the letter L. Okay, I'll give you 3 seconds. Something beginning with the letter L, which means later. Very good, Małgorzata. You're almost there. It's laters, right? So you say laters, laters. Something like, dozoba. Okay, but we're not saying goodbye yet. And we have a quiz for you. Anybody knows what's the first missing word in here? I'm totally knackered. Very good. Lots of good answers from many people. Very nice. So knackered, completely tired, exhausted. What about the second one? Many people write fancy, and you are correct. Do you fancy going to the cinema? Okay, and how about the next one? 2 words this time. Right, I know. You didn't get the report. And then you say, my bad. Very good. Thank you, Claudia, Marta, Małgorzata, Magdalena, Dorota. We have big audience today. Thank you for coming. My bad. Very nice. Okay, so is there anything left? Yes. There is a very nice picture here of a place which you wouldn't describe very nice, right? It's would you like to go in this internet cafe? Probably not, because maybe it would be risky. So I just want to teach you a word that is very popular, and the word is dodgy. A dodgy place. Well, the meaning is just like I said, risky. It's a dodgy place, dodgy district. I'm from, I live in a place in Warsaw, which some people, it's not fair to describe it with the word dodgy, but some people would probably describe it as dodgy district. It's Grochów, Many people from the other side of the river say, oh, Grochów, dodgy place, But it's not true. It's completely safe. I know some places in Warsaw which are more dodgy than Grochów, like Saska Kępa, for example. Okay, and how about this food? Would you like to try it? Because I'm not really sure if I would. So if I saw this, I'd say, it looks a bit dodgy, So kind of risky. Not safe, not good, So dodgy food, dodgy district, nice word to remember. Right. So I First, I thought of dodgy, and then another word came to my mind, the word iffy, which is probably related to the word if, you know. And I've got an example for you. Try to think what iffy might mean. That contract seems a bit iffy to me. And the expression of this man probably, you know, shows everything. It's, you know, a bit iffy. It's like, you know, doubtful quality, doubtful legality. You're not really sure if you want to sign it, if it's safe. So if something is iffy, you know, you might think it's not really safe to do this or to have it. A bit like dodgy. But you wouldn't say an iffy district or an iffy food, right? You would say, you know, that something is iffy, some situation is iffy, or that a contract is iffy. Okay. Speaking of contracts, does anybody know what this is? It's a very old and a very long and a very important contract. And what could it be? Anybody knows? Constitution. It looks like a constitution. Declaration. Very good, Jana. It's the Declaration of Independence. The Declaration of Independence. Why am I showing it to you? It's not a webinar on the history of the United States of America. I'm showing this to you because I want you to notice something in here. It's a signature. Can you try to read what's written there? Can you see whose signature this is? Any answers on the chat? Very good, Małgorzata and Anna. John Hancock. Now, John Hancock has become immortal for many reasons. Well, he was one of the people who signed the Declaration of Independence, but the fact that his signature, I'll go back to the previous slide, that his signature was the biggest out of all the signatures which you can see on the Declaration of Independence. Well, it just it means that well, it kind of the history is very complicated here, why it was the biggest signature, but what's left in the English language is the fact that John Hancock is just another word for signature. So if you say something like, okay, just give me your John Hancock here, will you? It means something like, you know, signature, give me your signature. But this time, it's something that American people would rather recognize instantly. For some British people, that might sound a bit strange because, you know, they might not be accustomed to that idiom, to that phrase. So, John Hancock, it's nice, isn't it? Okay, time for another quiz. This time it's probably one of the last ones. So, think about this piece of food in here. This food, it's not John Hancock food. No, it's dodgy food, risky. Very good. Okay, how about this this collocation? Deal. You know, doubtful quality contract. It's an iffy contract. Very good. Lots of good answers. And finally, I'm going to surprise you with a phrase which we had at the very beginning of our webinar, to take the piss. Very good. Remember, it has you know, a meaning that doesn't mean anything related to you know, the taboo toilet. It's just, you know, joking at someone. Just, you know, making someone look silly. To take the piss. Are you taking the piss? No. Of course not. All right. And finally, if you want to say, please give me your signature, and you want to, I don't know, joke a little, what do you say? Please give me your John Hancock. Very good. But you would rather use this, you know, if you were speaking to Americans, probably. something that you might want to remember. Okay, John Hancock. All right. So, just as I promised, these are 16 phrases that are very good to know, and something that you might, consider just using in your everyday English. But it's also good to know where to look for some good definitions, also or for some new, swear words, maybe colloquialisms. It's also good to know where to find the meanings of strange pieces of language that we hear from others. So we'd like to recommend you this source. It's just a website, actually, but it's not an ordinary website. It's just it's a dictionary, and it's called the Urban Dictionary, and I think it holds the most of the most common English, American vulgarisms, colloquialisms. It's a very good resource to have. Okay, so Urban Dictionary, and it's time to say goodbye. Do you know what we could say here at this point? Very good. We could say cheers, and this is something what I'd like to say to you. Cheers, guys. And do you remember the other word which you might want to use when you say goodbye in an informal way? Very good, guys. You remember this. Laters. And this is how I wanted to finish this webinar today. I hope you've learned a lot how to swear, those 16 informal phrases, and now just start using them, and you'll sound more fluent in English, I hope. Thank you very much. Right, time for questions. The chat is open. We have a few minutes, so if you'd like to ask us, about something, just feel free. Go ahead. Oh, I've got the first question. What about the other bad words? And we have some examples. Should we use them? Well, actually, those bad words related to sex, to body parts. Well, it all depends who you are talking to. It's difficult to say, The ones which we have given you, the ones related to religion, blood, are kind of safe. Safe for, work environment, for instance. These are mild ones. So that's the. Oh, and we've got a question from Sławomir. I have to just enlarge my little window. Flip the bird. You know what, Sławomir? I don't know this one, but if you log in the Urban Dictionary, I hope you'll find the right answer. So I'm going to refer you to the Urban Dictionary if you would like to know what this means. Because myself, I'm not sure, but I will try to look it up. And we'll, if you're interested, we can just send you the meaning, Sławek. Okay, very good. And there's a question about the recording of this session. Yes, it's been recorded. Anya will send you something to. Anya, what are you saying? Maybe Ania should explain it.
Poczekamy może jeszcze chwilę na Państwa pytania. Jeśli jeszcze ktoś ma jakieś pytania, to proszę wpisać. A ja chciałam bardzo podziękować Państwu za udział, podziękować Piotrowi za prowadzenie. Tak jak Pani Ewa tutaj pyta, czy sesja została nagrana. Tak, sesja została nagrana i będzie dostępna.